Plug Power. The stock trades around $3.40, down from $4.20 the last time I talked about it, but it's still up 59% year to date. So what is really going on here? Is Plug staging a comeback, or are we watching another overhyped hydrogen dream leak away? Because this company isn't just making hydrogen tech, it owns the entire ecosystem: electrolyzers, fuel cells, hydrogen plants, and fueling systems. It's the whole supply chain end to end. Plug Power built the first real commercial market for hydrogen fuel cells back in 1997, and now they're powering forklifts for Amazon, Walmart, and BMW. That's not startup talk, that's serious industrial adoption. And the story now? They're Gen Echo electrolyzers. This is a system that lets customers produce their own hydrogen on site using renewable energy. And that's a game changer if they can scale it profitably. But there's a problem. Plug Power still not making any money. Revenue is up 21% year over year, and electrolyzer sales tripled, but profits, they're still in the red. They're cutting losses. They're building hydrogen hubs in Georgia, Louisiana, and ramping up production. But the question is, will this all pay off before investors run out of patience? Because this stock is volatile, and volatility cuts both ways. Hey, what's up? My name is Rick Orford. I've been trading since 1999, and no, I'm not a financial advisor. That's a good thing. I break down the numbers so retail investors like us can make smarter, more confident decisions with our money. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. And you all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by almost 6 times. Go to fool.com/Ricko to get your 10 stock picks right now. In this video, I'm diving deep into Plug Power, get the catalysts, the red flags, and the one metric that could decide whether this is a comeback story or a meltdown waiting to happen. Plug Power is an American alternative energy company that specializes in end-to-end green hydrogen solutions. Plug Power isn't just making hydrogen technology, it owns the entire hydrogen supply chain. Of course, this includes electrolyzers, fuel cells, hydrogen plants, and the fueling frameworks. It means they don't just sell a product, they control the full cycle from production to delivery. And that's rare in this space. Plug Power created the first commercially viable market for hydrogen fuel technology. It began with the development of hydrogen fuel cells back in 1997 to replace traditional batteries. In other words, they were early, way before clean energy ever became the buzzword that it is today. Then, in 2021, Plug continued to build a green hydrogen ecosystem through strategic partnerships and acquisitions in cryogenics, electrolyzers, on-road mobility, and hydrogen adoption in Asian markets. So Plug Power isn't just expanding, it's building an entire infrastructure to make hydrogen mainstream. Now, Plug Power's main product today is GenDrive. GenDrive is a fuel cell system that powers warehouse equipment, especially forklifts. Instead of charging batteries, workers just refuel with hydrogen. Zero downtime, making it an obvious no-brainer for logistics-heavy companies. Think of it like this, right? Instead of waiting hours upon hours to recharge, you're back in business in minutes. And that's real operational efficiency. Another main product is the Gen Eco electrolyzers. Electrolyzers split water into hydrogen and oxygen, allowing customers to generate their own hydrogen on site using the grid or a renewable energy source. So in English, it's kind of like printing your own fuel. No middlemen waiting, full control over your energy supply. Plug Power is also building hydrogen hubs in Georgia and Louisiana, which can power the entire hydrogen ecosystem using its own technology. And there's a kicker. Its clients include Amazon, AT&T, Walmart, BMW, and Home Depot. When giants like that bet on your technology, it means they see long-term potential. So Plug Power isn't just selling a dream, it's already embedded in the operations of Fortune 500 companies. The only question is, can it scale fast enough? Well, to answer that, let's look at Plug Power's stock price. The last time I talked about Plug Power, it was trading at $4.20. Now it's trading around $3.40. That's a noticeable drop, but sometimes falling prices set up the strongest rebounds. Now, if we zoom out, it grew 59% year to date and 51% in the last 52 weeks. That kind of swing shows how volatile clean energy stocks can be. High beta, high emotion, and often high reward. Now, I've covered Plug Power a few times now, and a few questions keep coming up about its financials in my Discord server. So, to answer that, let's take a look under the hood, because growth stories sound great until the numbers tell us something different. Plug Power hasn't yet announced a date for the release of their Q3 results. However, we can look at their Q2 financials. The second quarter matched management guidance. Revenue grew 21% year over year to 174 million. And that was driven by demand for its Gen Drive fuel cells, Gen Fuel hydrogen infrastructure, and Gen Eco Electrolyzer platforms. So the top line is moving. It's not exploding, but it's steadily growing in the right direction. In fact, electrolyzer revenue tripled year over year, hitting almost 45 million in the second quarter. And electrolyzer sales made up 25.86% of its total revenue. And that's a huge sign of traction. It means customers are finally buying into the hydrogen model. Plug Power also managed to cut its net losses by 12% year over year, and that demonstrates that the company can effectively manage its bottom line. Translation? They're not profitable yet, but they're bleeding less. And that's how turnarounds tend to start. Now, despite all of that, Plug, well, they still have profitability problems. Net income still in the red. And that's to be expected since Plug Power is still taking on many initiatives all at the same time. Now, they are ramping up hydrogen production, converting gigawatts of engineering contracts into firm orders, and they're cutting costs massively. So they're building the plane while flying it at the same time. High burn now, but potentially a high payoff later. If Plug Power can continue to increase revenue while cutting its losses, then I could see profitability coming soon. And when that happens, those early investors usually win big, but timing is everything, and that's the risk. I'll be covering new developments for Plug Power in the future, so be sure to look out for it. So with all that out of the way, is Plug Power stock a buy right now? Well, let's see what the analysts say. A consensus among analysts, 23 analysts, rate Plug Power a hold with an average score of 3.09. Despite its hold rating, the high target price has been increased to $7, and that suggests as much as 105% upside over the next year. That's a bold target, especially for a company that's still profits in the red. But markets often price in the future, not the present. And I can see why. Plug Power, they're volatile, they're high risk, and they're exposed to market and policy shifts. It's also not making money yet, but when it earns more revenue and becomes consistently profitable for at least 2 or 3 consecutive quarters, then I think Plug could finally become a comeback stock. You could say right now, Plug Power right now is in the prove it phase. One solid earnings run could flip that sentiment overnight. So with all that out of the way, I think Plug Power is a long-term potential bet. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, if you found this video helpful, do like and subscribe because it'll help other people find the video as well. It'll also support the channel and you won't miss out on any of my future deep dives. Well, that's it for me today in this video. I wanted to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.